Oh, we're back here at WPT Australia. Main event is counting down. 27 players remaining, so pretty close to the end of day 3. I'm joined by one man who started today. He was here for the start of day 3. Obviously didn't quite make it through, Sean, but pretty happy with your run?
Yeah, it was a good event, and structure was pretty good. Ended up just min cashing, but it's a main event, so it's always nice to get a cash. And yeah, I came in pretty short today, like 7 blinds, so just had to try and run it up and couldn't, but it's always next year.
How's the series been? Have you been playing a full schedule or just picking and choosing?
Got here for the opening and then played everything, pretty much anything over 1Ks. Hasn't been the best series, but it was fun. And yeah, it's been good, so can't complain.
Now you've obviously been around for a while. You've notched plenty of results over the years, but tell me a bit about where you're from and how it all really started for you in terms of poker.
So I guess it's like most people, just when I was younger, just playing with friends. And I grew up when, so I think I was must have been 17 when Moneymaker won. So that was a big thing, and then started playing in high school and that. And then I think a lot more people started playing in Australia after Hashem won in 2005. And so then I was like 19. I started taking it more seriously, started playing on some of like the sites, PokerStars and whatnot, going to Crown. But I was still I was just out of high school. I was, run up a bankroll, then, lose it and kind of repeat, just living at home, not taking it seriously. And then had a normal job for about 5 years after that. And then when I was about 30, that's when I started taking it more seriously and, just did it full time. So it's been like 7 years.
Was that just a maturity thing, you think? You hit an age where you realised you needed to focus on it properly?
Yeah, I think so. I was I guess it took me longer to mature. And even back then, like in my early 20s, I knew that, I wasn't taking it seriously enough, and, the results were because of that. And then, like you said, maturity, figuring out what I wanted to do, for the rest of my life. And I'd always, I stopped playing poker like a lot, but I was still playing with my regular job. And then I decided that, it's something that I could see myself doing for the rest of my life. I'm, still really passionate about the game. I love playing, and it's how it kind of once I started taking it more seriously, then the results kind of took care of themselves. And yeah.
And did you sort of focus from day one on sort of tournament play or cash as well?
It was a bit of both. So I didn't really have like a focus on tournaments or cash. I just kind of whatever was going. And then it was about 7 years ago. I was still actually, when I started coming back like to play poker professionally, I was playing like cash and tournaments. But then I decided it's probably better just to focus on one. So, yeah.
Focus on the tournaments.
Yeah,
obviously,
exactly.
That's obviously paid off for you. Now, we have to talk about 2 years ago, the World Series of Poker main event. You were very, very close to the final table. Yeah. Looking back now, what are your sort of memories of that journey through that tournament for that week?
It's kind of a blur and kind of went very quickly, I guess. It was like long days, so you're there 12, 13 hours, so you don't really have time to do much. You're just playing and sleeping mainly. Eating, getting the occasional break to eat, but that was pretty much it. So yeah.
You obviously there's I guess pride and satisfaction at going so deep, and disappointment at falling just short of the final table. How do you sort of look at that finish?
It was, well, to get to that point, you have to run so good. So I kind of had to look at it like that in terms of to actually get that far after run so good. And sure, it's disappointing getting that far and not making the final table. But at the end of the day, like, if I didn't run that good, I wouldn't have got to that point, and it's, I still cashed a lot of money, right? So you kind of have to look at it more from like the positive, and like we tend to look at it more at the negative, right? You get so close and you're like, oh, there's so much money up top, but to get that far, day after day, you have to like run good, avoid coolers, give some other people some bad beats. So try and keep it in perspective as much as possible,
So Sean, obviously you've had some success too in a number of high roller events in Australia and smaller fields, of course.
Yeah.
How's your approach in a smaller field high roller event compared to a massive World Series of Poker main event style?
So like, yeah, just in general, like with main events, you might be more apt to avoid like high variance spots, and because usually the structure as well, it's better in main events, so you can you get more time, but the levels are longer and stuff. Whereas in like the high rollers, the players usually stronger, and it's more turbo-y, so you can't really, you shouldn't. I don't think you should be like passing up on spots where you might be, giving up some EV, and so yeah, just generally speaking, in the main events, it's more, pass on some spots where in the high rollers you probably not. You're going to be more aggressive. You're going to take some more variant spots and stuff like that. So, but yeah, in general, just have kind of a good strategy and don't deviate too much from that in general. So, yeah.
Now we're winding down the end of this series. What's your sort of plans looking forward for the rest of this year? You heading to Vegas in December? What's on the cards?
Yeah, I'll probably head to Vegas for the WPT. So I went last year. It was quite a well-run series, and obviously the main event prize pool was quite good. So they got the big guarantee again. So I'll probably head over there for that. But yeah, I'll just see. No concrete plans at the moment.
All the best.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Sean.